Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be talking about the small announcement that was just made from the Nino Kuni official forums. They did announce the next episode Eve event. They were a little obfuscated in which one it was going to be, but we have some anticipation of what familiar is going to be coming out and what the event might be. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and talk about some of the rewards too. So let's go ahead and dig in. So unfortunately, when they released this information, they said there was an episode Eve event coming next week. So what that probably means in terms of Nino Kuni is we're going to probably have another dead week, which it feels like we've just been having this like drain or lack of content in Nino Kuni over the last couple of weeks, because more than likely the episode event and usually probably I would say the big update is probably going to be coming about in 2 weeks, unless they release some type of huge quality of life this coming week as well. Now, what did they announce? So it is the episode Eve event. They didn't say which one. We think that it's probably going to be the Halloween Eve event, since that would make the most sense. That would mean that Boogie is going to be the free familiar that's going to be given to us. He is a dark element support. We'll get more into him in a second. And that would, of course, be in preparation for the upcoming Halloween or the episode Nightmare, which is episode 3. So we're not anticipating it to be Pirate Cat, although at this point, anything that Netmarble can do can change. They've changed things pretty wildly already, but this is what we're thinking currently. Now, taking a look at the rewards, it is the classic episode Eve event. You're going to get the standard 4-star familiar, so you will get your first copy of Boogie. You're also going to be getting a 4-star deco chest, 4-star toy chest, and a 4-star field boss accessory selection chest. Now, this is kind of a bummer to me because this would have been like a great moment to like really engage the player base and make people happy about something, right? If this week truly is going to be a pretty chill week for an update. But it has rare excluded on the 4-star accessory chest, so that is a little bit of a bummer. It's to the point now where I feel like, when I see jelly bottles, when I see feather teasers, when I see gold, like unless it's a substantial amount or unless there's something else going on, like these rewards just don't really excite me anymore. And I feel like we need to just be seeing a little bit more generosity or a little bit more kind of like almost like engaging an event, like make it engaging, because the only thing really exciting right now from this announcement is, oh, you're going to get a 4-star episode familiar, right? There is, of course, Boogie, which people have been talking about a little bit. People are a little concerned and a little confused. So on the Korean version, I almost said JP because I've been playing so much War of the Visions. On the Korean version, Relics and Aurora Links came out relatively quickly and close to each other. Aurora Links is the bonus unit for the upcoming, assuming it is the Nightmare event. He will be the bonus unit, so of course Aurora Links is going to have to come out. So the question is, are we going to get Relics next week as well? Are we going to get a release of Relics and Aurora Links, or are we just going to get Boogie next week and it'll be another dead week and then it'll be the episode launch with Aurora Links? That's kind of the question right now, is if they're going to start throwing familiars at us left and right, because let me tell you, I can't afford both Relics and Aurora Links in a 2-week period. So I'm kind of curious what you guys are feeling as well. So at a glance, so this is of course the Nino Kuni hub, for those of you that aren't familiar with it. An excellent healer if you could acquire multiple copies of it, so most people will be able to A10 it. Otherwise, you'll need Penguicorn for healing. It does have the ability to increase your weapon burst gauge. I've never been excited to have my weapon burst gauge increased. I'm a rogue. I have the capability to increase other people's weapon burst gauges. Oh, it's just not worth it. I don't. Weapon burst gauge is so lackluster, especially since auto burst is disabled unless you have a 5-star pet. I'm just not hyped for it. For his skills, so his passive is going to reduce skill cooldowns for both you and your party's dark familiars. Increase weapon burst gauge gain for every dark familiar in your build. And of course, boost your damage like all the other free familiars in the event itself. So the cooldown at max 10 is going to be reduced dark familiar skull cooldowns by 5%. And then he's going to reduce party members' dark familiar cooldowns by 2.5%. So he will be affecting your other party members' dark familiars. For each dark familiar in your build, increase weapon burst gauge by 3%. That's a total of 9%. Assuming you're running like a mono dark composition. Again, I don't think this is going to affect anything. I very rarely see anybody talking about weapon gauge or being able to do anything with weapon gauge. The active skill heals you and charges you and your party members' weapon burst gauge. Again, you know, not using that. I mean, I'll probably use it as a heal, but if I'm on auto AI, like this familiar, it feels like this familiar wants you to use your auto burst gauge a lot. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't see burst gauge being a huge deal. And maybe that changes. Maybe that's something that, you know, shifts in the future. You know, and I think like it might be one thing if it like charged your burst gauge all the way when you used it. At max awakening, it's only going to boost your charge gauge by 10%. So it's really not that remarkable. In familiar arena, so it's going to reduce its own HP, but increase nearby familiars' attack and crit damage. Pretty interesting. At max awakening, it's going to reduce its max HP by 5%. For 5 seconds, it's going to increase nearby familiars' attack and dealt critical damage by 30%. Could be really good. It's a little bit of a risk. I'm not sure I would throw this in every single composition. What you want to think about, though, is there are very few dark familiars or light familiars that are actually in familiar arena. They only directly counter each other. They don't have weakness or anything against other types of familiars. So they can be very powerful in familiar arena. So it's quite possible that we are going to be seeing Boogie as like a very dominant familiar arena familiar, just because he's a healer paired with Toko, who's already extremely powerful. I was just going to set up for an absolute carnage nightmare for anyone trying to attack or, you know, trying to attack and break through a defense. Ugh, yawning here. All right, guys. Well, that's everything until we get more information. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. It's pretty chill today, and it's been a pretty chill last 2 weeks for Ni no Kuni. I think I've been putting out so few Ni no Kuni videos just because there's nothing really to talk about. But if you guys want something, or if you want to talk specifically about something or have a guide on something, throw it down in the comment section down below. I'm kind of looking for things to make videos on. So thanks so much, everyone, and I will catch y'all later.